Welcome to episode 42 of the LoraineCounty.com Business Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon, and today we're talking with Karl Guenther, President and CEO of Statement Limousine. Join us as Karl discusses the operations and services of his ground transportation company based in Sheffield Village. He shares insights into Statement Limousine's logistics, safety practices, and customer service strategies, along with how they've navigated challenges like a major fire and the COVID-19 pandemic. Karl also dives into marketing approaches, hiring challenges, and his future goals for the company, along with his personal background and interests. This episode is part of the Expo Spotlight series, where we talk with local businesses who will be exhibiting at the Lorain County Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. The expo is held each year on the first Thursday of November at Tom's Country Place in Avon. For more information, visit LoraineCountyChamber.com/expo. Here is my conversation with Karl Guenther.
Karl Guenther. I am the president and CEO of Statement Limousine, located right here in Sheffield Village.
Welcome, Karl. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights. Could you provide an overview of Statement Limousine?
Statement Limousine is a ground transportation provider that provides car service from sedan and SUV work going to and from the airport to weddings, nights out, birthday parties, concerts. We go from, like I said, a sedan and SUV all the way up to 50-passenger limo buses with everything in between. We also have the unique capability of being able to manage transportation worldwide. So we have some of our clients that we pick up here in Lorain or Avon Lake, drop them off at Cleveland Hopkins, and then we have a car waiting for them in LA, New York. So we are a full-service, one-stop shop for anything related to ground transportation.
Can you provide more details on the products and services that you provide?
Basically, we're logistics specialists when it comes to transportation. We take a client's request and we will say, they will tell us what they want to do, and we will curate a plan to achieve their goal. Whether it's a 500-600 person convention, we can use motor coaches or shuttle buses, large limo buses, and we strive to provide top tier service. It's one of the things that people are spending a lot of money, especially when it comes to their special day, their wedding day. We are one of the more integral parts of the operation. If we're late, pretty much everything else is going to be late. So we really pride ourselves on our punctuality and our level of care and service that we provide.
How would you describe your typical customer?
We see customers from all walks of life. We have a few customers that are multi-billionaires to a couple just going to the airport for a family vacation. Business travelers are average. We do proms and homecomings. So obviously with high schoolers, we deal with the parents. But we service all walks and all different demographics and age groups.
What marketing and sales techniques have you found to be most effective in reaching your customers?
So the biggest thing we've seen in our business is actually word of mouth. It's one of those things that if we do a great job, we might have 40 people on a bus, and it always goes to their friends and family. At the same token, though, too, it could also have a detrimental effect. We are in transportation. Things can go wrong. But we really utilize social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we are also very active with Google as well. But our biggest reach lately has been through Facebook and Instagram marketing.
How do you ensure exceptional customer service and differentiate your company from other transportation providers?
So we take safety very serious here. We do a training program with our chauffeurs, consists of 2 days in office, a day on the road, running through all of our policies, procedures, take them to the airports, locations around town. But prior to that, we do drug testing, background checks, motor vehicle reports, and we run it through a third party. So it's not just us saying it. Our insurance company will approve them, and also our third-party compliance company. One thing is we make sure that all of our chauffeurs, whether they're a CDL driver or not, they go through and get their medical card, a medical certification. It's just one extra level that provides a peace of mind. And throughout their employment, we make sure that they are doing their randoms. They get randomly drug tested through the third party as well. We run motor vehicle reports throughout the course of the year. And we also do 6 in-person trainings a year and 6 virtual. So we do a safety meeting every month. And I think it's something most companies do quarterly. We strive to do once a month. And even just safety briefs, safety messages throughout the day to our staff when they get the reminders for their trips the day before. And it builds that culture of safety from the ground up.
When hiring new employees, what have you found is effective?
So as most business owners, hiring is one of our biggest struggles right now. We have actually had the best luck with yard signs. When you pulled in, you saw our two 2 by 4 foot signs now hiring CDL chauffeurs, and also Indeed. We've done some postings in the local businesses around. And the thing is for us, anybody can drive for the most part, but we're looking for chauffeurs and that little extra touch, because sometimes it's the happiest days of people's lives and sometimes it's some of the saddest. So it's difficult to find that right fit, but we've had a lot of luck with just networking in the local communities and having job postings around.
How do you measure success at Statement Limousine?
So our thing is no news is good news from a client. When we don't hear anything from a client, it could go either they don't want to say something or everything was perfect and they have nothing to say. One thing that we strive to do here is we will always underpromise and overdeliver. It's something that my general manager told me 8.5 years ago. We're going on 9 years. And at first, I'm like, what do you mean? He says, we meet their expectations, but we will never oversell it in the beginning. And we will always overperform. Transportation has its hiccups. We'll have a belt blow, a tire blowout. One thing is we're very transparent here. And if something happens, you will hear about it. Chances are before you even know that something's going wrong, just based off the chauffeurs. But the best thing that we can get from a client is just a follow-up thank you email. And success, too, is if the chauffeur gets an additional gratuity. That means they went above and beyond, because we charge gratuity for all of our runs. That goes right to the chauffeur. So if that chauffeur gets that extra gratuity, that means he knocked it out of the park with that client.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face, and how do you overcome them?
It's not so much as from a business perspective of operational side in the office. We had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions this weekend and also the Guardians playing. So when it comes down to a logistics hurdle that we always have to face with the cities, you have all these people in town, you have people that got to go from point A to point B, and it's really knowing the back end of the city, knowing the ways around, and it's the logistics part of it. But our team is great about it. That's really been our biggest struggle, is navigating when we have multiple events going on at the same time. It's happened more times than not this year. International Film Festival, WWE, fell on the same weekend as well. And then it's a logistics side.
Sure. Going forward, what trends do you see in your industry, and how do you see Statement Limousine adjusting to these changes?
The younger generation, they want everything at their fingertips. Obviously, we have to compete with Uber and Lyft for the car service side of things. And the biggest thing the industry is facing right now is how to adapt to become more of a on-demand service. 99.9% of all of our reservations are pre-scheduled. You don't have drivers just sitting in vehicles, sitting up the street waiting for a call to come in. And that's the biggest challenge for us to be able to adapt and still stay competitive. That is the biggest thing that the industry is facing right now.
What key factors should someone consider when choosing a limousine service to ensure a great experience?
So we always encourage our clients to come on out and see our facility, see the vehicles in person. Knowing this from experience, when I was purchasing my first few limousines, pictures look beautiful until you see it. Flew to New York to buy our first 2 limos back in January 2016, and literally standing there, I'm like, where are the vehicles that you sent me photos of? Because these are not it. And that even happens with other companies. They use stock photos. They use photos of the vehicles that are 5, 6, 7 years old. We highly encourage them to go see the vehicle in person, make sure it's the same thing that's on the contract, validate insurance. A company should be able to provide you a certificate of insurance showing their limits, their policy dates, their maintenance records, training records, anything of that nature. A lot of it's public record. There's different operating authorities. You have a state operating authority and a federal operating authority that you can do a quick Google search and find the company, and it'll tell you whether they're legal or not. It's really crossing your T's and dotting your I's on the safety part of it, because if a company doesn't have those things in order, chances are they're cutting corners somewhere else down the line.
Let's switch over and talk a little bit about you. What's your background and what led you to Statement Limousine?
I actually grew up in the waste disposal business. My family had a business over in Avon for many years, and I grew up in doing industrial cleaning, demolition, spill response. And it was great working with family. The time came to when they decided they were ready to sell the business. We had the opportunity to move on. And I wanted to build a name for myself and build my own legacy. Always been a fan of transportation. We used to use limousines in the past for personal and corporate stuff with my family's business. We all have our own touch. And I wanted to put my touch on it and build a level of service that I'm proud to put my name on. One thing we strive here is consistency transforms ordinary into extraordinary. It's just being able to make those special moments really memorable.
In the time you've been with Statement Limousine, what are you most proud of accomplishing?
So we've been through a lot of stuff in the last 8.5 years. My team has been phenomenal. We had a fire back in July of 2019, 3.5 years into business, and it was a Wednesday morning that we lost everything. The entire fleet, the facility, everything. And we were up 38% in sales that year, and it was in July. We covered every single contract, made every wedding whole, pulled out of it, started rebuilding, and then COVID hit 8 months later, almost to the day. And so essentially, my staff and my team and myself, we've built this company 3 times. From the day we opened, rebuilt after the fire, and then again after COVID. And one thing that I can say is we are very resilient, and we've been put on the map to stay here.
Going forward, what are your personal goals? What would you still like to accomplish?
So obviously one of the biggest goals I have is to continue to grow. Right now we're sitting at 14 vehicles in our fleet, and we service clients, as I mentioned, from all over. We want to continue to grow. I truly do love being able to give back, employ, and watch my team grow with us. It's a culture that we have here, that it's a family-first culture. Our goal is just to keep going and going and providing service at a further reach than we already are right now.
Outside of work, what are your hobbies and interests, and how do they help recharge you?
So if anybody knows me, my getaway is that body of water that's a little bit north of us here, Lake Erie. I'm a water baby. Getting out on the boat or the jet skis is my reset. It's my happy place. So in the summertime, obviously, we like to do a lot of boating. Didn't get to do quite as much this year as I would have liked. We were either too busy or the weather did not cooperate on the weekends. But really, it's just a chill night at home, just to relax and reset, and a little bit of vacation. I do a lot of work trips right now, but they're always work. Vacation, even if it's a 3-4 day vacation, is a huge reset. And that's what I tell my staff as well. You have to reset yourself. You have the vacation time, take it. We are not meant to work 24/7, 365 days a year. Unfortunately, that's a business we're in. We are open all year, day, night, rain or shine. I wish we lived in a place where it was 75 degrees year round, and I was able to be on the lake a couple times a week.
Finally, where can people get additional information about Statement Limousine and connect with you?
So you can find us online at www.statementlimo.com. You can give us a call at 440-949-2220. Or even send us an email at info@statementlimo.com. On our website, you can see our fleet. You can request quotes, book directly online, chat directly with our staff. And you're more than welcome to always stop into our office. We're located at 3901 Colorado Avenue right here in Sheffield Village, one door west of Gun Hub. And we'd be happy to show you around and have you take a look at our facility and fleet.
Thanks, Karl, for joining us and sharing your insights.
Appreciate it, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the LoraineCounty.com Business Insights Podcast. We hope you found this conversation informative and that it provided some ideas that will help your business continue to grow. Please follow us on your favorite podcast platform to hear each episode where we shine a spotlight on local resources that will boost your business. And we want to hear from you. Email ed@LoraineCounty.com to share your feedback and topic ideas.